everybody, and welcome back to this third instalment of Gentlercise Level 1. Hopefully everybody has completed the first two sessions and knows exactly what this is all about, and most importantly what your body is capable of. However, if not, we'll have a quick recap. So this class is aimed at anybody who found seated exercise particularly easy and needs a bit more challenge, but perhaps isn't quite ready to ditch the chair altogether. Now, all you're going to need today is an area roughly the size of this mat, a clear area, I hasten to add, roughly the size of this mat, some comfy clothes, some trainers, some water, and most importantly, a fairly sturdy chair. Okay, 4 legs please, no 3-legged stools, and most definitely no wheels. Right, we're going to go into our warm-up in just a second, and then we'll do the bulk of the exercises, followed by some cool-down stretches at the end. There will be various times in the session where we're going to take rest. However, if you need to stop at any point and take rest, then please do so. That is what the chair is there for. In saying that though, please do make sure you do challenge yourself. That's the whole point of the workout. We want to feel the benefits of exercise, and so we can face the rest of the day energised and ready to go. So it's all about finding that balance between rest and challenge. But that's up to you. Right, okay, we're going to go straight into this. So we're going to hold the back of the chair, we're going to get our feet hip distance apart, chest out, belly button back towards the spine, and then we're going to roll on the feet, forwards and back, keeping ourselves nice and tall, lifting the toes, then coming forwards and lifting the heels. Okay, so we're just challenging the muscles, getting the blood flowing around the body, getting ourselves ready to start doing exercises efficiently, and that way we get far more out of our bodies. And that is what warming up is all about. Right, so another thing with this chair, try and make sure you're not leaning on the chair too much. So we use the principle of dirty fingers, clean palm, and you can take that wherever you want in life. We never lean on anything with the palm of the hand. Try and do it with the fingertips, and that way you are just using that assist for balance rather than a third leg, as it were. Right, let's go on to some leg swings. So we're still staying hold of the chair, and all we're going to do is pick up one leg and allow it to swing forwards and back. But we're doing it under control, okay? We don't want a pendulum effect going on. All right, you control it. So you'll notice how I'm not leaning forwards or back. My body stays nice and upright, and all we're doing here is just generating movement from the hip and increasing blood flow to those muscles and getting some juices flowing in the joints so that it's not uncomfortable. Right, change legs. On to the other side. That's it. Forwards and back. So we should still be lifting the chest, pulling the belly button. Can you talk? Lift the chest and pull the belly button back so we're staying nice and upright. That's it. Try not to kick anything in your motion. Hopefully the radiator is still there at the end of this class. Right, feet down. Right, we're going to go on to the arms now, reaching across the body. Try and make your circles as big as possible. Okay, but do remember, never push through sharp pain. Sharp or unusual pain are the things that mean we should really take a little break and stop what we're doing, allow your body to just relax for a little bit, and then take yourself back into the exercise, but maybe take it down a notch. When we're warming up, it's quite common, so that's why we do the warm-up, to try and gently ease our bodies into doing more exercise. Sit. One more on each side. Proper job. Right, a bit of coordination now. So, hands off chair. We're going to bend the knees. So we're going to come down into like a half squat. Hands go to the knees, and then we're going to crisscross the hands whilst moving the knees in and out. That's it. It often gets me. I tend to put my hands out too wide. That's it. Nice and simple. Crisscrossing the hands, and then slowly rise up. That's it. And now we're going to roll the shoulders one at a time. Roll it back. Always roll the shoulders backwards. We want to use the postural muscles around the back, not the chest muscles around the front. That encourages that bad posture. So we want to get those shoulders backwards. That's it. Right, our next one, onto one leg again. So we're going to go back to holding the chair. I'm going to lift one leg up, and we're doing what we call a Russian walk. So it's coming out the front and then down, and then change legs. And what we're trying to do here is trying to straighten the leg when it's out there, and then that wakes up that hamstring muscle down the back of the leg, and it gives it a bit of a stretch. And you can increase that stretch by pulling the toe back towards you. Okay, everybody will be totally different in this one because of flexibility associated with the hip or the hamstrings or the knees. So you just do whatever you can do. Challenge it by lifting the knee up as high as you can and then trying to get that leg out as straight as you can. We'll have one more on each side. Proper job! Okay, give it a little shake out, flick out the hands. We are now going to go into the bulk of our exercises. So I'm going to turn my chair around so you can see. You don't have to do this, obviously. Right, so our first exercise is a march for 4, then we stand up and do 4 punches. So if I just walk you through it first of all, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, stand up, and then we punch. Or 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then sit back down again. Okay, that's the routine. Everybody together, let's go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, stand up. We come and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. So remember then with the sit to stand, we've got to get our nose over the toes. So some people will find this super easy, others less so. So focus on your technique. And 4, and down. Make sure we are coming forwards onto the balls of the feet as we stand. That's 4 on the march, and stand, and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can give the punches as much venom as you like. One more, 1, 2, 3, and 4, stand up, and punch. Or 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good, right, next exercise. So I'm going to move my chair again. Again, you don't need to. And it's a squat with a tiptoe to follow. So we're going to hold the chair if you need to. If you don't need to, then happy days, don't worry about it. But always remember it's there for balance. So feet hip distance apart. We're going to squat down, taking the weight back onto the heels so that we can wiggle the toes. And then we come forwards and then come up onto tiptoes. That's it. And down and up onto tiptoes. So you can use the chair as you like. You could use it all the way through the squat and into the tiptoe. You could use it not at all, or perhaps just use it on the way up. It's entirely up to you. That's it. The most important thing is that your weight is evenly distributed around between your feet rather. So we're not leaning towards the chair or using it overly too much. Overly too much, that's not even an expression. Right, let's have one more. That's it. And up. Good, right, give that a little shake. And we're going to do some boxing now. So, I just want you to give me a punch to the front. That's it. We're just going to increase that power. So imagine someone who's annoyed you this week. Give them a little punch. Right, and we're going to go into what we call a hook. So a hook comes from around the side. So we come around from here with the elbow up and we punch in the middle, right in front of our face. So that's why we want to make sure the fist is out in front, not too close. That's it. And we come around from the side. And again, you can give it as much power as you like. Alright, try not to go all the way over. We don't over-rotate. This action comes right to the middle, and that's where we get the power. And we use the hips down here, if you want, to get some extra power, so you're using your core. That's it. It's not just about the arms, it's about the whole body. All of these exercises are about the whole body. That's it. Nicely done. Okay, let's go back down again. So back onto the chair, and we'll take a wee rest right there. So we'll give it about 10 seconds, and then we'll go straight back into that set. So we're going to try and repeat all of these sets twice. Now, let's do it. We're going to go back into our march. Sit up nice and tall, belly button back towards the spine, and up. 2, 3, and 4. Stand up and punch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this second round through the exercises, we should now know the techniques, so we can afford to challenge ourselves a little bit more if needed. Good. 4 and down. Nice and slowly. That's it. 3 and 4. Stand up. Good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand up. Good. This is all really good for the thighs and the shoulders and that core. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 punches. We're coming up to our last round. And down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And up. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Right, stay standing. We're going into our squats. So we'll go straight in. Remember, holding onto the chair if you need. Feet hip distance apart. And down we go. Go down as far as you can. And then up onto tiptoes. So in order to increase the intensity on this, don't go faster, go deeper. So you get more out of this exercise by taking it slowly, but getting your hips as low as you possibly can. So if you're finding it quite easy, then please feel free to increase that intensity by taking the squat deeper. Equally, if you're finding this pretty challenging, then please take rest. You don't need to go down so far. If you can't, if your body won't let you, then just each time you just try and challenge it a little bit more. Coax it into improving. Let's have one more and then we're going to go straight into our hooks. So we'll miss out the jabs and we're going to go straight into the hooks. So that's coming round from the side and punching into the middle. So using the strength of your shoulders and your core, you can really then get something out of this particular exercise. It's quite an aggressive one. It's a bit of catharsis. That's it. So actually I'm using my buttocks quite a lot when I'm doing this. They're acting a bit like my brakes. As I come through, I'm working all the muscles in my body, not just my arms. Right, we're going to go into a speedball now. So, fists one over the top of the other. And just circle the fists. Imagine that you've got a ball in front of you that you're punching over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, twist to the side. Twist to the other side. That's it. And back to the middle. Marvellous job. Bring the arms down and give it a flick. Right, you have a nice long rest now. The next exercise takes place on the mat. So I'm going to get rid of my chair and you can do so as well if you wish. But we're going to go down on all fours. So just keep resting as you are. Right, I'm going to just take you through the next exercise, which is what we call a walkout. So we're going to start from a kneeling position. So if you've got any problems with your knees, then please make sure you stick a cushion or a jumper or something underneath your knees, and that just protects the fronts of your kneecaps. Right, so we're going to do a walkout. So that involves taking the hands down to the floor, walking the hands out forwards, and keeping the nose in line with the fingertips. So we go out as far as we can so that we're challenging the core muscles. And in order to do that, we need to get our hips lower than they would be if we were up in the all fours position. Okay? So there's two different intensities to this one. You either walk at your hands out and hold that position. If that's enough, then you just hold it there and bring it back and then stand up through your chest. Or stand up. Sit up, stand up, kneel up through your chest. If that's easy though, take your hands out, nose in line with the fingertips, and then just take your knees off the floor. lower the knees back down again and walk back up, all right? And then sit and kneel up nice and tall, okay? Right, everybody in then, everybody down on their knees, chest up, and let's get going. So hands come down, chest is still pushed out, belly button up towards the spine, and nose in line with the fingertips. That's the most important bit. And now we're going to lift through the belly button, pull back, and sit and kneel up tall. And we're going to reach the arms up. Let's get nice and tall in the process. And hands all the way out again. So we don't want any speed in this. Control is what we're after. Nice smooth control, pulling the belly button up towards the spine, and you go at your own pace. So you don't have to go at the same pace as me. As long as you've got that technique, you know exactly what you're doing, you go at your own speed. And remember, if you're finding this quite easy, then challenge yourself by going out, getting into position, and then lifting the knees up off the floor. And that just gives your arms a little bit more to do. That's it. Just for reference, we do this in level 2, but we do it from a standing position, and we don't put the knees down at all. So that gives you that reference. If you want to go on to level 2, then that's the type of intensity that we're talking about. Good. All right, bring the arms down and give it a little shake. We're now going to go down onto our backs. So if everybody can come down with me and lie flat on the mat. We'll have the knees up and feet flat, okay? Now we're going to do a sit-up, a half sit-up followed by a hip thrust. So it's going to go like this. We're going to lift up the head and shoulders, push the belly button into the floor and slide the hands up to the knees. Then we come down and then we lift the hips. You see? And then down. Hands up to the knees, lie down, hips up and down. Okay, everybody join in. Hands up, down, lift the hips. So don't be tempted to hook your feet underneath a sofa or a chair. We want to make sure it's the abdominal muscles doing the work and not the hip flexors, and that's what happens when you hook your feet underneath something and then you pull against it. Right, we don't need to come all the way up. This is just a half sit up, so it's just sliding the hands up to the knees and then lift the hips. Right, one more time. And then we're going to roll over onto our sides. Good. Everybody roll over. So we're going to roll over into a straight line and just support your head either by way of your hand or lying down onto the top of your arm. But most importantly, we want the body in a straight line because we're now going to tuck the feet back behind your bum. All right, what that means is it stops you from bananaing your body. We don't want to be in this position here. We want to have the feet back behind your bum. And then we're going to keep the heels together and open the top knee. So we call these clams because it make your knees make it look as if you've got a clam. We keep things simple in the health and fitness world. Try not to overcomplicate things for our own benefit. That's it. So notice how my knees come down, my knee rather comes down, touches the other one, and then comes back up again. Now there is one thing that I'd like you to make sure of, and that is that your pelvis is angled either directly towards the ceiling or slightly forwards. What tends to happen is your brain is very good at picking out the bigger muscle groups, and what it likes to do in this particular one is roll back. And it tends to take you back onto your buttocks, and that just means it's been recruiting more of the bigger muscles around here. But actually what we want to do is recruit the muscles back here, right in your pelvis, right deep in your pelvis, very small muscles. Right, we're going to roll over now because I think we've done enough of those. So roll over onto the other side. So legs out straight, tuck your feet back behind your bum and open out the top knee. So we'll go back into that. So what tends to happen is the hips roll outwards, and that allows you to take your knee much, much wider. But what we want to do is target here, which means actually our knee won't go past a certain point. So in order to stop that, we just make sure that the hips are either facing the ceiling or slightly forwards. So if you want to put your hand on your hips to stop yourself from rolling back, then please do so. That's it. Now, another thing is it tends to be a little bit jerky when we first do this. That's perfectly normal. The more you do it, the smoother it will be. But this is a really good exercise for those little muscles right in there. And relax there. Roll back. Right, we're going to come back up to kneeling now. So yeah, those little muscles in your glutes, in your hips, they are your glutes. They help control your knee stability. So often, a lot of knee pain comes from weakness in those glute muscles around the back there. So that's why it's so important to do. Anyway, have a nice break. Actually, I'm going to have a quick swig. Wet the whistle. Talking too much, clearly. Right. Everybody, please, into a kneeling position. Remember, if you need to protect your knees, get yourself a cushion or a jumper or something just to protect those kneecaps. And we're going to go straight back into our walkouts. So remember what level you were at before. If you felt like you needed to challenge yourself a bit more and you're not experiencing any discomfort in your shoulders, lift those knees up. So lower down and pull it back. That's it. And reach up tall. So if you do have any problems with your wrists as well, arthritic wrists are normally very disapproving of this exercise. So just be careful. We don't want to spark any issues with wrists, so just take your time with it. Something that has helped certain clients in the past is, number one, is when you go out into that position, is that you push through your fingers rather than the palm, and that can take the pressure off the wrist by using the muscles instead of the pressure through the joint, through the bones rather. Another one is to use like rolled up tea towels, so that you're going out in this position. You're going out with almost a fist. But do make sure that the towels are rigid enough so that your fingers don't get squashed underneath. But those are two different ways to just reduce the angle at your wrist. Right, onto our backs. So whatever stage you are at, rolling over onto your back, knees up, feet flat, and we're going to do our half sits and our hip thrusts. So if everyone's ready, we're going to push your belly button down into the floor, lift up, tap the knees with the fingertips, take it back down and lift the hips. Good. Lower it down and lift up to your knees. Good. So again, we don't do this quickly. If you wanted to increase the intensity, then hold it for longer. And make sure everything is done really slow and controlled. You'll find you use far more muscles by doing things slowly. So, the other thing that can happen with this one is that you can migrate down your mat. Every time I do this, I have to kind of shuffle myself back down again. That's it. We're going to do one more of each. And then we'll roll back over onto our side for our clams. Good. Okay, everybody now onto your side. So just roll over and just support your head whichever way is comfortable for you. So first of all, body nice and straight. Remember, pelvis slightly angled forwards, if not just up to the ceiling. And then tuck your feet back behind your bum. And open out the top knee. So yes, if you get any jerkiness like this, that is really, really normal. So you just need to keep doing this particular exercise and challenge it. Try and make sure it is done nice and slowly. You can really focus on it. and you can train your muscles to be in control. And that really will be beneficial for your knees. That's it. But it's not a quick fix. It needs to be done regularly. Every day if you can. That's it. One more and then we'll roll over. Good. Taking it to the other side. Nice straight line to start with. Feet back behind your bum. And open up that top knee. Let's have two more. That's it. Good. Right, relax there. So have a nice rest. We'll take 30 seconds out and then we're going to get down onto our fronts now. So I'm going to roll you over and you're going to go into dorsal raise position. So I'll demonstrate the first one whilst you're having a re-break. So we're going to start off with a Superman, but we're going to do this in a lying position. So we're going to take the arms out front and you're just going to let your head relax so you can have it facing down or up, whichever you prefer. And then we're going to lift the right arm with the left leg. Now note that my arms and legs are straight, so the movement is originating from my hips and from my shoulders. I'm not bending my knees, okay? That's good. It's just like that, okay? Right, everybody, on your fronts for some Supermen. Let's do it. Nice and slowly, go your own pace. And ready, up. That's it. Use your glutes to lift your legs nice and steady and feel this in your lower back. You should feel this around about here, mostly, unless you've got any sort of weakness in your shoulder, in which case you might feel it more in your shoulders. Let's do one more on each side, and then I'd like you to roll over onto your backs again. So nice and steady, onto your back. Now, this next one, I'd like you to let your left leg go straight down to the floor. And we're going to pull the right knee in towards the chest and try and hug it in. So interlock your fingers or just pull the knee into your chest. And pull it in as far as you can, and then push with your knee. So you're pushing into your hands with your knee. So you're creating a resistance using your hands. Then we're going to slowly release off that pressure, push the belly button down into the floor, and then take the leg out nice and slowly and lower it down to the floor. And then go on to the other side. Hands go the other side of the knee, pull the knee in towards your chest and push away with your knee. So you're creating that resistance, and then slowly release the pressure, take your hands away, belly button down towards the floor, and take the leg slowly down to the mat. On to the other side. Hands the other side of the knee, knee into chest, push the knee away, under strain of the hands, then slowly release, and take the leg slowly down to the floor. So that whole pushing your belly button down is where you're engaging your core and protecting your lower back as you lower that leg down. That's it. Right, other knee into the chest, interlock the fingers round the other side and push away. That's it. Release the fingers and slowly extend the leg down to the floor. Excellent stuff. Right, everybody roll back over again. Onto your fronts. We're going into Cobra now. So two different styles of Cobra. We've got full Cobra, hands level with the chest, arms out straight and that lovely hyperextension from the back, or come down onto your elbows. So if your lower back really doesn't like being in full cobra, then just take your elbows down and relieve the pressure. Okay? No problems at all. So we're now going to look over one shoulder and pull in the heel of one side, of that side rather, and then switch to the other side. So we're looking over the shoulder and allowing the back to stay nice and fluid, twisting left and right. So if you're in full cobra, it will look something like this. That's it. And it's a lovely one for freeing up the lower back. That's it. Well done, team. One more. And relax down. Good. Just bring the hands in underneath your forehead and just relax there for a few moments before we go back into our Superman. And we're going to repeat that whole set again before going into our cool down stretches. So we've got 3 more exercises to do before we finish. So just enjoy this relaxation phase. Head in your hands. And then take the arms out straight. We're going to go right arm with left leg, lifting from the hip and the shoulder. Nice straight legs and arms. And then switch to the other side. Left arm with right leg. And remember, you can do anything you like with your head. That's it. Remember, this is all really slow and controlled. If it gives you too much discomfort in that lower back, then please just stop. A nice way to relieve this one off. If it's too much, take the hands level with the chest and just sit right back on the heels into that position. And that's the counter position for that Superman exercise. And just relieves off the muscles in the lower back. Okie dokie, everybody now roll over onto your backs. And we're going to do that knee flexing exercise again. So, left leg down to the floor, right knee in towards the chest. Interlock the fingers around the knee and pull it in towards your chest. Then push away with the knee, giving yourself that bit of tension, bit of resistance, and then slowly release the hands, belly button down towards the floor, and slowly extend the leg down to the floor. Swap it over. So we've got the left leg now in towards the chest, interlock the fingers around your knee. Pull it in as far as you can and push away. That's it. Belly button into the floor, release the hands gently and extend that leg nice and slowly out and down. Swap legs again. One more on each side. Hands the other side of the knee. Knee to the chest. Push away. That's it. Belly button in towards the floor. Release the hands slowly. Extend the leg. All the way down to the floor. Last time through. Knee to chest. Hands the other side. And push. Push as hard as you can. And release. Belly button down. Extend the leg out nice and slowly down to the floor. Well done. Roll over. Last exercise. We've got our cobras to do. So, full cobra or half cobra, whichever you prefer. Looking over the shoulder, pulling in that corresponding heel, and then switch to the other side. Don't hold it. We want to move fluidly from one side to the other. That's it. Free up that lower back. You can allow the arms to move if you wish. You can increase the intensity on this one by bending the elbows and allowing your shoulders to move as well. But that's entirely up to you. Right, 3, a 2, and a 1. Good. Right, we're going to go back into that stretch I showed you just now. So take the knees wide, take your sit bones back to the heels and your hands out in front, and just lower yourself down into the mat. At this point, if you can keep your sit bones back towards your heels, as close to your heels as you can get them, everyone will be different, and then use your fingertips to pull your arms forwards whilst keeping the sit bones back, and then you'll get this lovely stretch across your back and underneath your side waist. Well done, team. All right, roll it forwards. So we're going to go all the way down, and what I'd like you to try and do is reach back for your laces of one foot. Okay, if you can only get to your trainer, then don't worry, then just keep challenging it. I would highly recommend practicing this stretch every single day, 2 or 3 times a day if you can remember, and you'll find it really does help those quadriceps. That's your muscles around in front of your thigh. Right, tight thighs, really not good for hips and knees, so having a really good stretch off every day is really good. Right, change sides. The target is to be able to hold on to your laces, keep your knees together and pull the heel into your buttocks. Okay, everybody's different. Oh my word, everyone's thighs and quads and whatever are so different. So challenge it according to you. Do make sure you do them every day and you will benefit. You will improve. Good, release that off. Right. We're going to roll over onto your backs. And just hug the knees into your chest. Just do a little counter pose. Just to bring it in. That's it. Knees into the chest as far as you can. You can roll it around. It's quite a nice stretch. Quite a nice relaxation one. We're not finished there yet though. Right. Can everybody please come up now onto one knee. So we're kneeling up. Remember, if you've got problems with your knees, stick a cushion or a jumper or something underneath your knee, and we're going to take one leg forwards. Let's go with the left leg forwards, right knee on the floor, left foot forwards, and then just lunge into the stretch. Stick your chest out, and we're going to take both hands to the outside of the thigh, so here. And then with a nice upright position, twist to the side. So we're pushing gently on the leg, lifting the chest and twisting as we go. And we should get a stretch in that lower back and possibly a little bit around the side. Come back to the middle, extend the left leg and lean over the top. So we're aiming to get the hands down to the floor. If you can't, just try and balance yourself, maybe use a chair or whatever you've got nearby, just to keep your balance, and just make sure that this left leg is straight. We want to be leaning over the top, chest down towards the knee. Again, everybody will be different, but these hamstrings down the back of your leg are so important for your hips, your knees, your back. So if you've got pain in any of those areas, I strongly advise just doing these stretches and see if that helps relieve off that pain. Because if it does, problem solved. That's a very cheap solution. Right, pull the toe back towards you, and that sends the stretch more into the calf. And release that off. Right, we're just going to do those same stretches on the other leg. So we've got our right foot forwards now, chest out, lunge forwards. Give your butt a really good squeeze to increase that stretch in the hip flexors. Another major muscle group for your hips and lower back. Right, hands to the outside of your thigh. Push inwards gently and twist. Make sure you're lifting your chest, sitting up nice and tall. Good. And release it off slowly, come back to the middle and extend that right leg forwards. Again, if you need to take some balance from something else, a chair, a cushion, a human, as long as you can trust them. Just make sure that that leg is as straight as you possibly can. Lean over the top and chest down towards the knee. Try and avoid twisting, okay? So don't have your hands all on one side. Try and make sure that one hand is the other side of your leg. That keeps you in a nice straight line and stops you from rotating. As I said before, the brain is really good at finding its preferred route, i.e. its stronger muscles or its more flexible muscles. So as long as you get that technique right and you stick with keeping it nice and in line, then you'll hit that hamstring nicely. Pull the toe back towards you. At this point you could grab hold of your toe if you wanted to. If you're super flexible, then go for it, but it's not essential. All we're trying to do is send the stretch more into the top of the calf muscle, that muscle that's really prone to cramp. We're just stretching that off. Cracking job, guys. Right, we're going to release it off. Take the weight forwards onto that right leg, step in with the left. Now, at this point, I want you to stick your chest out and slowly rise up. Roll the shoulders, take the arms right back as far as you can get them and bring them in for a cuddle. Excellent. Right, you are done. Congratulations. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you'd like to go through that Shavasana position that we've done in the first 2 sessions, that's that deep relaxation mode that you can go into. Lie on your back, just let your arms and your legs just lie wherever they feel comfortable. Anyway, hope you are all set for the rest of the day and the weather is beautiful wherever you are, so you can enjoy whatever it is you've got planned. Thanks very much.